It's absolutely frigid outside. Happy Earth Day, y'all. Happy Earth Day. Okay, I'm going in the car now. I know for sure by the time that I'm posting this, Earth Day will have passed, but I just want to say that Earth Day to me felt like Rainforest by Noname. And if you don't know Noname, you need to look them up. They're an amazing artist, but specifically Rainforest is one of my favorite songs. I really feel like it captures the energy of our current relationship with the earth and with climate change and environmentalism and how we sit in all of it, and honestly just like the depressing truth that in spite of the planet literally going up in flames and falling apart around us and ecosystems collapsing and biodiversity disappearing, we just have to continue living our life. And for the longest time I went back and forth on whether or not I would even post for Earth Day. I didn't end up posting because I was working. Doing my job, which is literally habitat restoration, felt like the most I could even do, I guess, when it comes to an Earth Day celebration. So that was that. But yeah, excuse the cars in the background. This is like a busy road. I didn't realize how busy this road was because I've been here a couple times before and it usually isn't this busy, but it is Saturday, and so you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like leading up to Earth Day, I had a lot of emotions already surrounding climate change and environmentalism and conservation. And then Earth Day came around and I feel like it all just kind of like bubbled up to the surface. For those of you who don't know, my current job is in conservation. I do habitat restoration with the Washington Conservation Corps. So pretty much since January, my entire life has been planting native plants, digging up invasive species, and we're about to move into pesticide use, but a lot of the conversations I've been having obviously surround conservation and biodiversity and essentially trying to save the natural environments and habitats in our immediate space. And honestly, I love my job. I feel like it actually enables me to make an impact when it comes to environmentalism and climate change, and I think it's a really manageable way to be active in the community and the spaces that you're in. But one thing that I've definitely noticed since having this job is that my climate anxiety has started spiking. I'm not a doomerist. I don't really subscribe to doomerism or climate fatalism, if you're familiar with that term, but I can't deny that the state of the world is something that definitely sits heavy on my heart nowadays, and I've been finding different ways to deal with it, I guess. I feel like climate anxiety doesn't really go away just because shifts are inevitable, and at the trajectory that we're currently sitting at, I can't see things just magically getting better without action and without genuine change. And so I feel like that definitely makes me kind of anxious. Honestly, I feel like the only thing that's keeping me sane is by staying informed and reading books like Braiding Sweetgrass. That's so hard for me to say. That have really helped ease my anxiety and feel as though I can reclaim that power and autonomy to do the things that I can do to help the current situation, even if it's small, like planting ferns in a city in Washington. But yeah, I don't know. I thought I'd just have a little earthy black girl vlog chat about this because I think it's important to talk about. And obviously it's something that I feel like a lot of marketing is catching up to. I feel like brands nowadays, they love to greenwash. They love to be sustainable and organic and ethically sourced and all that, and that's amazing. But I think the root of the problem is our capitalistic system and the system and the construct in which we live in. And so there's just like a lot of noise, I feel, right now when it comes to environmentalism and being planet friendly and sustainable. But I truly feel like that is just noise unless we collectively shift into a lifestyle that actually supports the earth and supports its growth and its healing. Like, even as I'm making this video, I can confidently say that the lifestyle that I live is not in favor of the earth's healing. It's not in favor of actual change and sustainability and how to actually live outside of the capitalistic system. And I'm not saying there's inherently something wrong with that. I happen to enjoy and also benefit from the capitalistic system, and I honestly don't think there's many people that can say that they don't. And so that's just like reality right now. But I think that's what makes this conversation so depressing to me, because so much would have to change if we were to truly be in support of the earth like we want to be. And I think the deeper that I get into conservation and environmental science, one thing that's painfully apparent to me is that there is an extreme lack of diversity. And I think that in general just exists in environmentalism. I have statistics. Maybe I will give y'all some links below. I think I'm going to probably link some articles below, because this is just like straight off the dome, okay? So I apologize for that. But to give y'all some perspective, in the program that I work with, which is the Washington Conservation Corps that has been around since 1983, how is it that I am the only Black passing person in the entire program? And I can say this confidently because we do training 2 times a year, and the entire Washington Conservation Corps, which is across all of Washington, all comes together in one place, and we are all there. We are all learning and training. And when I looked into that room, it was one shade. And it's so interesting because Washington and Seattle specifically is kind of funny. They will have flags everywhere supporting everybody in every group, and then you look around and it's just a bunch of white people. Respectfully, I guess. It's just kind of funny because I feel like Seattle loves to preach about diversity and inclusion, and it really seems like they're just preaching to the choir, because where is that diversity and where is the inclusion? Why do I get stares when I walk into a room full of white people with the Black Lives Matter flag outside on the window? Like, it's fucking trippy, honestly. It's insane. And it's frustrating, especially when it comes to working in conservation and habitat restoration. Why are the communities that we're working in wealthy and white? I hate that I have to generalize it, because I know there are so many Black and brown people that are working towards conservation, because I follow them and I follow their programs and their nonprofits and individuals who have dedicated their lives to speaking about climate change and advocating for diversity within environmentalism. But I still feel like there's a really big disconnect between that and then those who make up the majority of the conversation within the world of environmentalism. Like, not to be dramatic, but our world is dying and we are so wrapped up in our own lives we can't even see what's in front of us. I think it was the other day when my boss was talking about how they do this like windshield bug tests, where they basically just like drive down a highway or someplace wherever and essentially just count up the diversity and the types of bugs that they find on the windshield, and that has dropped drastically. And that's concerning because what are bugs? Bugs are like a vital food source and play a very significant role within the food web and in ecosystems. And the fact that biodiversity of bugs is going down is insane. The lack of biodiversity in bugs directly impacts every other aspect of life. And the fact that I have not really seen that being talked about anywhere, and maybe that's on me and what I'm plugged into, but the fact that I haven't seen that is insane. Even the fact that as we're planting plants right now that are for the restoration of Washington's natural habitat, one of the biggest concerns as we're planting is that in 10 years, when all of these plants should be mature and fully functioning in an ecosystem, they will no longer even be suitable for this environment because the earth is heating. We're planting all of these native plants to restore the natural environment, which may not even fucking exist in 10 years because of climate change. So all of that work we're trying to do to reverse the current state of our natural habitat may low-key just be for nothing in a couple years. And in this book I'm reading Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge and the Teaching of Plants by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Here it is. Please look at it. In this book, I haven't gotten that far. I'm literally on chapter 1, but that's what I need. It's already changed my life. In the book, which I haven't even gotten that far in, one of the first things she talks about is mending our relationship with the world around us and with the natural world. And just by getting through chapter 1, my mind was already blown, but I feel like it was such a powerful point because we need to learn how to mend our relationship with the natural world. And in a lot of ways, reevaluate our purpose and how we fit into the web of life and the ecosystems and the environments that we live in. And honestly, I feel like it really did soothe my soul a lot because like I said, I feel like climate anxiety is something that has just been like swimming around my brain for a minute. And apart from literally just trying to do as much as I can do, I feel like this is why information and knowledge is so important, because resources like this have really helped guide my perception of the world and guide my understanding of how I fit into the world and the things that I can do to help better the world around me. And I think it's really important, even though we may not be able to fully invest. But I do think, at least at the bare minimum, we should be waking up to the state of the world, and we should be waking up to some of the harsh realities that things are changing, and change is inevitable. And a lot of us, including myself, don't possess the tools that we may need to adjust to any negative shifts. And I want to address too, in this little rant, I feel like I haven't provided a lot of concrete research and information to back up my words, and like I said, that is because a lot of this is off the dome. As I'm making this, I don't have sources to cite, but I will link below any sources that I do find that I think are relevant, and also a list of pages on Instagram that I've been following, because honestly, say what you want about social media, but I feel like I have gained more information about environmentalism and Black environmentalism online through dedicated pages than anywhere else. And so I'm going to link everything below, and I'll give a little reference to all the things that I've pulled from, because they are from something. It's not just me making shit up. I definitely feel like in the future, if I were to pursue graduate studies, it would probably be within this world. But for now, I am but a concerned earthling. I feel like change will really start when we do learn to reconnect with our environment, even in the simplest ways, and find empathy for the world around us. And I definitely think that's easier said than done. I think a shift in awareness is most definitely needed, both on a small scale and on a large scale. But I do think this conversation would be a lot more hopeful as we do start to wake up and really find that power within ourselves to spark change, or at least advocate for it. I don't know. That's all I had to say. Yeah. Happy Earth Day. I don't call these earthy black girl vlogs for nothing. Representation matters, and I feel like since pushing this idea and concept of being an earthy black girl and an earthy outdoorsy black girl, I have connected with so many other like-minded individuals that are doing the same exact fucking thing, and it's beautiful and it's amazing to see. And I just want it to be a movement, and I'm not super specific. I say earthy black girl because I'm a black girl, and I have a lot of pride and love for my community. So when I speak, I only hope that it is reaching those ears. But truly, I'm speaking to everyone when I say that I want to see more diversity. Y'all are amazing. You're doing amazing things. I love y'all. And until next time, happy healing. All right. Bye, guys.